Hi, welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
And I am known as Ryan Seymour, favorite son of my father.
It's mean! It's so mean! No one's here to refute that!
Well, it's also a lie!
Oh, well...
Welcome to Black, White, and Red All Over.
Oh my god, good times, good times! Ladies and gents, we are back for another week of amazing comic booky goodness, but before we get to that, we have an amazing creator with us. Victoria, how you doing?
I'm doing fabulous.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the world? And yeah, because everybody's watching. Everybody watches us. If you don't, well, you're not part of the everybody I was talking about. But yes.
Wonderful. So I'm Victoria Douglas. I'm a comic creator from the Central Ohio area. Recent graduate from the Columbus College of Art and Design. And out here shilling my new comic book,
That's
Cinnamon.
the way it's supposed to be. Yes.
As always.
Yes. All right, now Cinnamon is coming out of Behemoth. Is that correct?
Yeah, the Happy Tank imprint of Behemoth, yeah.
All hail Behemoth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fabulous
We're
stuff.
super big fans. Okay, so what's the rundown? What is Cinnamon about?
So Cinnamon is a slice of life comic about a cat. Very simple.
I'm sold.
Indie comic stuff. But then when we kind of swap into her point of view, everything's like a high octane adventure comic. So like gritty noir, giant fights, giant robots.
Yeah, happy.
Lots of good stuff. So like little things. A glass of water on the counter becomes a bundle of bombs, and like we're navigating this whole like area.
And you got to knock the bomb off the table.
Go figure. Yeah.
Table.
So it's like what
So
cats really like
Yes!
to imagine their universe.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
It's kind of the reverse shot of like, look at this thing, look at what it could be, look at what it is now, and then all of a sudden all the cat owners are saying, what's the litter box?
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Okay, so I have a cat at home.
Yes.
I think upon taking this at home, we will have a better relationship. She sleeps in my spot, which makes it weird at nighttime, but maybe she's trying to tell me something that I'm not picking up on. So you might be giving me some insight. I need this. Right? Do you have pets at home?
Yeah.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
No, I really do. No. Yeah.
I just...
So I got 3 cats. Warlord Daisy, which is his name.
Wait, that's full name?
Yeah. We got Queen Matilda.
Yes.
And then we've got the Duchess of Blep, Honey Bunny. And then we have a large, big brown dog whose name is Casey. I'm not going to say the rest of her name.
One. Oh.
Because it's disturbing.
Oh.
But yeah,
Okay.
so the 3 cats I've got. There's the 2 sisters and then Warlord.
Right.
And they just don't get along. So these constant titanic battles over just the dumbest stuff, like the litter box. From a human perspective, like it's a plastic tray,
Right.
that has gravel or sand and feces. But for them, it's like
It's the Holy Land, bro.
yeah, like they're fighting over this thing. Like it's like, no, guys, it's a box of shit. It's a
like,
box
"No,
of shit.
but it's
going to be
mine."
mine.
Yeah. So like just the being able to see things through their eyes and like all their like the weird stuff that cats do. I can't wait for that book.
Oh my God.
I'm just a messenger. I'm just translating.
You're touched by gods. Like, that's just what it is. All right, so when it comes to what you like to read, what's on your read pile on a regular?
Oh man, I catch a lot of the like small press stuff,
Word.
indie comics. I mean, the past year I've been just in my own little bubble, catching all the Behemoth and Happy Tank
Nice.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So like I've been reading MFKZ as it comes out,
That.
and like a little behind the scenes. So like, I mean, I love it, and specifically MFKZ was kind of a crazy thing.
Yes, it was.
Because the movie came out a few years ago.
Right?
And it was in theaters for all of like 3 days. And you better believe my wife and I had tickets, and we were there day one because it's just like, hello, it's a French-Japanese collaboration.
Yeah,
like
how do
we're
you
down
not?
for
How do you
this.
not?
We pre-ordered the Blu-ray like
Nice.
day one, and so then, as I was making Cinnamon, I was watching that movie on repeat because it came out like 2019, and blew my freaking mind. So Kevin from Happy Tank, he reached out to me, and we got this whole thing started, and he's like, we got this property that I think is gonna like gel real well, and I think we're gonna release about the same time.
Nice.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, we're good for anything. And then, months down the line after I'd signed and we're going, full steam, he's like, okay, so yo, it's MFKZ. Have you ever heard of it? I'm like,
have I?
Yes.
I've been living off of that for years.
Oh man, so that's like my dirty little secret is like so much. I mean, it's a whole like Mod Podge of everything that I love and all the influences that I have. But like you can see a little bits of flavor from MFKZ kind of
awesome.
cross-pollinating.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't be more happy to be coming out with so many like stellar comics. Coming to the U.S. for the first time because like it was in France and like,
Right.
I didn't have the opportunity to read it until freaking now, and so I'm just
I mean, we could road trip. Let's road trip.
yeah.
Let's
I mean,
just-
honestly, French comics are like up here.
like
It's a special kind of something.
we just became best friends. Like no, for real. No, for real. Yeah. No, because like okay, so as a self-publisher myself, I actually operate more for the short-run miniseries style, right? Because I think it's easier to maintain than a typical ongoing.
Yes.
And when you tell that good, neat story, people can find it at their leisure.
Yep.
There's no risk of them being like, oh my God, I never saw this. And now you're issue 59 and I can never go back.
We can be best friends.
See?
Like,
Yay!
honestly, 12 issues, 6 to 12 issues, like just get the story done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Figure it out. That is definitely the modus operandi.
I love it.
And so I'm definitely pulling from kind of that history of, but the same thing goes for TV shows. I can't do the big long serialized stuff. Like nothing against that,
Right.
But it takes a lot for me to get into a huge like 7-season show.
Got you.
And so like, give me 12 episodes, give me an idea, execute it, like tell a good story, and then don't push it too far. And that's my jam forever.
It's like gospel. It's me right now. You don't even want to.
I'm gonna write the Bible on
Yes.
short form comics.
That
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Like literally amazing. Okay, so as a graduate of CCAD, were you able to take advantage of the new comic book arts program?
Absolutely. Funny you bring it up.
Hate you so much for that. They didn't have this when I went
my
there.
gosh.
Oh God, I'm so old.
So I transferred to CCAD in 2018 after a long history of failure at other schools. And so that it was kind of my clean slate. I was in editorial illustration for freaking ever.
Mm-hmm.
I was dabbling in character animation.
Nice.
But I told myself I'd never do comics because I didn't want to draw the same character over and over and over again.
What?
I didn't want to draw Cinnamon 100 times.
How many times have you drawn Cinnamon?
More than 100.
I failed at that.
It was kind of on principle that I said I'd never go back to comics after like high school. And
Right.
then I started getting into animation and realizing, wait, I just drew that character 1,000 times. What am I doing?
I didn't want to point that out. I was like,
no, see, that's the
worse, actually.
And so I had a really prominent mentor at CCAD who he kept Mike Lawhead. He kept stepping in to say, hey, you should try this comics thing. We got this comics thing. And I was
Word.
like, no, I don't. I really love it. I love the Spitball Anthology. I love everything you're doing with the comics program, but like I don't make comics. Until I took one comics class, and then it was like, holy frick, this is cool.
I need this.
It's not just superhero. I don't have to make a superhero.
That is
like,
true. That is true.
And that was a big hang up for me. Like, I love reading superhero comics,
Right.
but I didn't want to make them. And so, like, the head of kind of the comic side of things, Lauren McCubbin, she just kind of took me under her wing, and it blew my mind. The past 2 years, just like, I feel like a new person.
That's awesome.
So I was able to hit the ground running and just like make comics for 2 years. And honestly, it is like the best comics undergrad program. One of the only ones. It's not like there's a big pool.
no, that's true.
But,
very few. Very few.
I mean, it was the time of my life.
That's awesome.
And so Cinnamon was actually my thesis comic.
Oh,
at CCAD.
that's the... See, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, children, this is how you do this, okay? you pay to learn how to do the thing, and then you get paid to reproduce
True,
the thing that
it's
you were
true.
learning to do.
Yeah.
That's game.
I mean,
right there.
honestly, if you're thinking about going into comics
Yes.
and feel the need to go to school for it, because it's definitely like not a necessity.
Absolutely.
But if you feel like you will thrive in that environment,
Then do this.
then like it
Yeah.
is like cream of the crop. The faculty is freaking amazing.
That's awesome.
So I had a great time, and like I could not be happier to spin that thesis comic into something else. So issue 1 of Cinnamon is more or less the untouched thesis comic.
That's awesome.
So it was a single issue that I made over the course of senior year. Obviously, like, you know, I planned it in mind with like being able to push it forward into a full series.
Of course.
That was kind of the point, is like, you know, make it as if you could make 12
Right.
issues or whatever. And so,
But you're not beholden to that. Like,
exactly.
You're like,
yeah.
I create as I create. Like,
Yes.
again, very French comics. You know, if you look at
Yes.
Mobius' stuff, like, he creates a thing, and you're like, oh, that was fun. He's like, oh, but there's more. You're like, yes, there's more.
Yes.
Like, it's
yes.
not the necessity.
Oh man, that's good stuff. So I feel like I owe a lot to CCAD, and specifically like that comic literacy. But like I'm just glad to be here making my
That's awesome.
Cool Cat comics.
I
You know?
sincerely am proud of that, and proud of you, and hate your guts all at the same time. Because again, this program did not exist for the brief stint that I attended. I might have stuck around if it did exist, but we're talking. You said in 2018,
Yeah.
so like 18
Yeah.
years before that.
God,
I'm old.
I squeezed in to the first like kind of unofficial graduating class of
Nice.
comics. So like it was the first time they did the senior capstone in
Gotcha,
comics.
gotcha.
So like I got lucky because I kind of like jumped in last second
Hey,
and said,
yo,
hey,
hey.
you know, I'll take all the comics classes real freaking
No,
fast.
I've been here.
Yeah.
Way to sneak into the cookout. I like that.
No, so it's, I mean, honestly, the people that came before, the people doing like the early Spitball anthologies,
Right.
like really paved the way for that. Because there's some,
That's awesome.
so, I mean, like Shea Beagle and Moonstruck and like
We gotta have
crazy,
Shay up
crazy
here
stuff.
at some point.
Yeah.
Shay is awesome.
Yeah, they're super cool.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I owe a lot to them too. Just like everyone kind of making their own stuff and doing the indie thing, kind of coming out of the unofficial program. But it's booming, and now's the time to get into it.
Yeah.
You know?
So if you are Central Ohio based and you want to, take it to that higher level education, CCAD is a great school to check out some really cool things. Number of local creators graduated from there. Mike Watson did, again, before they had this awesome program. So he, clearly is going to be upset if you bring it up to him. Do it, please. Thank you. And but check out some amazing things. I know Yuko Smith is still there I think he's adjunct teaching now. Is he?
I'm not sure at this point.
Okay, yeah, because Yuko's so busy, so it's hard to know exactly what's happening. But in addition to that, also working directly or very closely with CXC. Have you exhibited
Yes.
there as well?
Kind of unofficially, I've
Gotcha.
been there with the CCAD table.
Gotcha.
That was actually one of the shows that like really kickstarted this whole thing.
Nice.
Was I just kind of wandered in. I lived around the corner downtown, and walked into Cartoon Crossroads and went, "Who are these? I don't."
What is this?
Like,
what
what
is
is
happening
this?
here?
Well,
I
was
love all of this.
I was walking around and I saw this guy's table, and he had this graphic novel sitting there, and it was Swallow Me Whole by Nate Powell.
Yep.
And I'm like, hold up. I found that in an indie comic shop in high school, and it changed my freaking life. Wait, are you Nate Powell? And it just like blew my mind. And so we talked for like an hour.
That's
and I
awesome.
bought all of his books.
That is awesome.
Nate
Nate is so cool and unassuming. Like, you just look at him and go,
I know.
"You're a librarian, aren't you?" And he's like, "I make comics." You're like, "What?" Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, so many cool people. Honestly, having like Cartoon Crossroads and the entire Columbus comics community just like in this little back pocket, you would never know. But like the Billy Ireland is
Also true.
like freaking massive.
Beautiful. The Wexner,
So,
Space.
Yes.
All kinds of
yes.
stuff.
Bob Corby in
Yeah,
Space.
yeah,
just
yeah.
absolutely
Big
amazing.
shout out.
So maybe there's this part of me that thought, wow, there's this amazing thing here. Like, how can I shift and become a part of this? Because like Columbus is definitely some shade of home.
Oh, yeah.
And
You
it's-
never get to leave now.
I'm cool with. I never thought I'd move back to Ohio. I went to high school in
Right.
Central Ohio, and like, I just bat out of hell. I'm never coming back, and then
Run
all of a
away!
sudden I'm back, and it's the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
So never say your hometown's like off the table.
I mean,
it
you
could be
say
a really bad.
Yeah, you could say it. But if it's Columbus,
You'll be back.
They got good pizza.
reconsider. That's also true. Yeah, that is also true.
Which, if you want more about good pizza, I
Yeah.
have a comic in the Columbus Scribbler about Columbus pizza.
Do we have some? We have
So,
some.
The most
scribbles,
recent
don't we?
issue, yeah, we got some up front.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great.
So then, yes, we got to
So-
shout out. We love those guys anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, they're amazing. No, that's
Fabulous.
fantastic. Okay, so Cinnamon hits bookshelves when?
July 28th.
Okay.
Is issue 1.
Okay.
Coming out monthly.
Awesome.
For the next couple months.
Cannot wait. That's going to be good stuff. Anything else you want to share before we get into talking about these books that we've read but you have not read? So we're just going to talk around you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. No, buy my comic if you like action and cats. It'll be a good time.
Two great tastes that taste great together. Action and cats, ladies and gents.
Well,
Make it happen.
I was on a show a few weeks ago, and the guy was like, okay, I read your comic. I freaking love it. This is so great. But then I sent it to my wife, and she doesn't read comics, and she loves cats, and she loved it. And I was like, whoa, found my demo.
Yo, you are in there. You don't even understand.
So it's all ages, more or less. Gotcha. So like, it's for anyone, especially cat owners. I mean, you can like dogs and read it too, but
maybe not. Yeah, maybe not as much.
It'll be a good time.
Good stuff. All right, Rye,
Jace,
let's talk about some books, bro.
Yes,
let's talk about them. We've got one that's the same in our honorable mentions area.
This is all right. So this is the fifth Wednesday of the month.
Fifth Wednesday.
And we were waiting for that week that things were just going to be jumbled up all over and then we finally got there.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. The thing that's crazy is that there's still a lot of stuff. Yeah. Way back in the yesteryears when I was growing up, a fifth week was a dead week. Like, you could skip that week. Like, you don't even go.
There'd be like 2 annuals and like a Marvel miniseries that you didn't want to read.
At all, right? Deathlock's or Death's Head 6, like something like that, right?
Never been so jealous of Helen Keller in my life. But like this week, I'm looking. I don't have any of the big 2.
No, you don't.
And that's where there's so much awesomeness in the small press, the indie creator that
it's beautiful. Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, so where do you want to start?
See, you went with what a source there. Source Point,
Source Point. Yeah, let me just go ahead and jump on this one. Source Point Press. We got Broken Gargoyles. Now, the reason why I had to pick this one up, kind of personal friends of mine. Okay, so we got Bob Sally and Christina Blanche writing, right? Yeah. Now, I have to admit this. The first time I met Christina, I said disparaging things to her because she was dating someone at the time that we were roasting.
Oh.
Legitimately roasting. Like, this was like they brought us in to roast this person.
Oh, okay.
And she came along and I said things to her that one shouldn't say the first time you meet somebody. So I am so lucky that she still loves me to this day because they were raunchy, and I apologize. Because you're not together with that person. That's why I apologize. Because your sense of humor is enough that you thought what I said was funny, and that's why I love you. Okay, so this story, this is the vibe, okay? Take World War II.
Okay.
A little hint of like Howling Commandos.
All right.
Doom Patrol. Steampunk it.
Go on.
Tech advancements with like robots and coolness.
Yes.
And here you go.
Done.
Okay? Like, this is so many different elements. I didn't know exactly what I was getting. I mean, I had a feeling, right? Yeah. You look at the cover, you get a vibe. But it's spot on. The language is, like, dialogue is super on point. There is a line in here, and it's so funny. When I read it, I know for a fact, as a fellow writer, that somebody high-fived themselves. Like, this is one of those lines where you're like, I'm done writing today. Like, I don't even have to write anything else. Like, that was a line. It was good. It was meta. It was deep. It was right. Read this. It's good. You'll love it. Oh, let me get some lifted artwork. I'm sorry. I love the writers. I'm sorry. Stan Yak did the pencils and inks. Very raw, like, style. It works really, really well. Yeah. However, the true MVP, I got to give mad credit. Justin Birch, your letters, impeccable. Love them.
People forget about the letterers.
They do.
Forget about the colorists.
Like, all the time. I mean, the colorist was good too. I'm sorry. Dang it!
Wasn't like colorist shaming.
Sure, you heard. Just shades of blue.
It's like being the drummer.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the back.
That's it. Yeah.
Dark Horse. Parasomnia. So Cullen Bunn, the guy, right? Andre Moody doing the art and colors on this one. Yeah.
Andre.
Yeah.
like Maniac of
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, so I like accidentally stumbled into like a greatest hits package of like creators.
And
for
I
me.
didn't grab that book. Oh,
It's
50, 11
good.
books I read, and I didn't read that one.
It's so good. It's kind of high concept in a way because there's two stories happening at the same time.
Okay.
One of them is like this really cool, like Warhammer fantasy. If you play that, Age of Sigmar, kind of like Rhodesmen fighting bad guys kind of vibe. And then there's also this modern day story, kind of along the lines of Blue Flame, where there's like a dude who's in a hospital and in a coma, and don't quite know yet. Like, is it the same thing and he's hallucinating, or is there more going on? Do these things line up? But I trust Cullen, and the art is just
Fantastic.
amazing.
Oh my god, I should have read that too. I should have read that.
What was this like? There's like 100 facings on the wall this week.
I mean,
Like, how do
there
you
really
pick?
were, but okay. So
there literally are. I know how many facings we've got underneath these sections.
it's like no, there's literally 100. Like that's what it is. Okay, so you read that number one.
Mm-hmm.
The number one that I read, The Shield number one. Okay, listen. I'll admit it. I love reading Rob Liefeld comics. I do. Why? Because it takes me back to a time, right?
Yeah.
Like when I didn't know any better, or no. Okay, CCAD talk here. It was in the way back yesteryears of like 2002, and I go back to CCAD to visit their comic book club because they didn't have like a solid course series yet. They had like a comic book class, but that wasn't the same. So I go back and, everybody's like, Vic, share some words of wisdom with the, freshmen or whatever. And I'm like, sure. I said, think of the worst comic creator, like artist that you can think of. Like, who is it? Almost unanimously, they all were like, Rob Liefeld. And I'm like, that's funny. That's amazing. How many more books out does he have than you? And it was like the most sobering, like, oh, I thought I was, and it was like, yeah, but you got to understand, like, in this game, and I was just explaining this to a new up-and-coming artist yesterday, drawing well is your secondary skill, right? Storytelling has to be first. Maybe, like, 1.5 is drawing fast, which he does, right? He can tell a story. You can follow it along. Mm-hmm. Drawing well, lower on the tier. Like, you don't
want to tell an art student that, but like
you don't. But
you kind of need to hear it.
It's so true, right? Like it's God, what is it? Daryl Banks came and spoke my freshman year there. Hi, Dad. And he was like, he actually said the worst possible thing. He was like, it's better to be a C student in art than an A student because an A student knows that they can do the thing, so they don't explore it anymore. But a C student knows only enough to pass. And so they're more apt to actually like explore it. Yeah. And I'm like,
it's wisdom.
Dang it. C's from here on out. Like that's all I'm doing. Yeah. But okay, so Rob Liefeld is Rob Liefelding so hard here. He's got story and art, and we're getting this play on the Shield, right? Now, okay, I'm trying to remember. True or false? Shield predates Cap?
I believe so, yeah.
By like a little bit, right? So that's right. Know your history, guys. And so we've got like this team of characters. These all came from like when I knew them, they were from the Impact comic line. Like that's when I came in on them, right? So it's so I don't want to say corny, but you can clearly see like the references that he's making between like Black Panther, Wasp, Namor. Like it's so fun. It's just fun for no good reason. I actually did enjoy the story, though.
No, it is. It's super, like, his stuff is super guilty pleasure for me.
Yes!
Like, from, like, a retailer who's been around for, like, 25 years, it's one thing, but, like, their little kid in me, that the Snake Eyes Dead Game miniseries, Agent X or X Marks the Spot, or whatever that one was, just amazing. Yeah. Just so much fun.
And then, of course, you know, like, the signature Rob Liefeld pinup moment.
Oh, yeah.
It's like right there, and you know it's a good one because he signed that page, and you're like, yeah, like he was like, I did this.
I'm done writing.
You know what I'm saying? Like
for the day.
Chances are he like whipped out like all these like cross hatching lines and then just sent it to the color. So it's like, make it gold. You're welcome. I don't even know if he signs his name anymore. Like, I bet he has that as, like, a stamp.
Just something that you
yeah,
can
just click, paste, and
put it in.
felt. Like, that's it.
Man.
Okay, but there's something to be said about having like half the issue all just building up to like the single pinup and like
so gorgeous.
Blew your budget on the whole thing.
Of
like,
course.
and you can because you're Rob Liefeld.
Yeah,
Right?
Like, he definitely paid more for the colors on that page than the rest of the book. Like, because like, no, I'm serious. Like, it's borderline over rendered and it's fabulous.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. The only thing it needed was more pockets.
Mm-hmm.
More pockets.
All right. From Behemoth, all hail Behemoth. We've got You Promised Me Darkness number 3. This week also, I think the third print number 1s are supposed to hit the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be here because they came damaged, as is my lot in life.
Of course.
So this story, and it finally hit me. I was watching Tierna and I, my oldest daughter, Neka Chan the Wise on Instagram.
Follow her.
We're watching this movie called Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
I'm there.
Fabulous.
So
I'm there.
It finally clicked. Like the producer and the director of that, if they got a hold of the Umbrella Academy, this is kind of what's going on with this.
Yes.
So there's this person that's the anti-everything. That's the name they chose because they realize they're anti-everything.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like the person that's going to bring on the apocalypse. And you got this pocket of superpowered beings that are trying poorly to stop them from doing it. But yeah, it's so much fun. It's all in black and white, so it's like very, very dark.
Right.
It's if you liked Umbrella Academy, but you're like, you know what? I wish it was a little weirder. I wish it was a little more Crow-esque.
That's a good way to describe
when
it.
Gerald Way is a little too pop for you, this is what you want to do.
This is the one you want to go to. I mean, yeah, it's just, you've got, we start to find out the backstory. It's got a dude in a devil costume.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just good stuff.
The chiaroscuro xenography of that
That's
is
the
so
smart word for it.
dope.
It's wild.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if that, like, took longer to do. To, like...
I don't know. Like, how do you go about that? Is it... I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's... Yeah. Even me having looked behind the curtain, I don't know how you did it. I got nothing. It's fabulous stuff.
Fine, it's just magic.
Yeah, it's
Suspend
just
disbelief.
That's why I read comics every week. I just want to believe. Okay. Ed Piskor, Red Room, issue 2.
It's so bleak.
Listen. If you have young ones in your life, do not buy this and have this that they might know about. Like,
or hand it to them.
Yeah, definitely don't.
One of the two. So, for those of you not familiar with the concept of a red room is an urban legend where horrible atrocities are done to people for kind of like OnlyFans, but on the dark web.
But on the dark web.
Which is every time Stace brings up freaking 50 Shades of Grey and his red room of pain. I'm like, do you know what a red room really is, woman? You do not.
You keep bringing it up. I'm going to show you what a red room is like, and you won't be happy, okay? We'll download special VPNs, and
it'll be cool.
It'll be fine.
Defenestrator 68 is going to be coming on soon.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh, what that man can do with a Cuisinart is
so bad. So bad. Okay, so here's the fun thing. Shout out to Ed Piskor, Pittsburgh-based creator, killed it on the indie market like for years, right? Also dipped his toe into some mainstream things, so like the Grand Design series for the X-Men, Hip Hop Family Tree.
Yeah, Hip Hop Family Tree is amazing. That's where I got in on him.
Yes. So like, if you guys have been watching Cartoonist Kayfabe channel on YouTube, which you should, you definitely know about these things because he's had them up on his Patreon for a grip. Like, I think up to issue 5 is up on his Patreon, which is crazy dope.
Yeah, I need in on that.
Yes. $3, get you the archives. I be listening, Eddie. I be listening. All right, so here's the thing. Each issue is a standalone, even though you have recurring characters.
Yeah.
And it's all just a big bag of effed up stuff happening.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. That dog did not get shot.
Dude,
that dog lived.
It did. Yes,
dog lived.
It did. No.
And that
No.
that doctor is sacrificing for his family.
Okay, now, in that part, you're absolutely right. Until he was sacrificing. He made choices at the end.
Yeah?
He made choices, okay? You're not going to let people live. You're not just going to listen, people got to move on with their lives. They got to be who they're going to be.
Right, but if you're going to be working in that industry, there's got to be some perks.
You got to see it. You're right. That might not be.
That might be.
All right, good call. This one, it gives you the feels.
It does. It really does. It's like it's super uplifting. The first part. It's like that meme where I could have swore they had us in the first half.
Yeah. That's exactly what this is. Murder on the dark web for fun and profit. That's what Red Room is all about. Yeah. And trust me, this is going to be one of those things where if you get caught reading this,
just double down.
Yeah. You're
not talking your way out of it.
That's right. Just start cutting your own face or something. It's the only thing I don't even know with like a pencil, but the eraser side. Just like I don't know. Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I want to, I won't buy it because I can't have my kids find it. I don't have to explain to them what the dark web is. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter why Daddy's wearing a mask. He likes it. Leave him alone. Don't look at me like that, Jeremy. You've been to my parties. All right, so we're moving on to the acrylic, where we have one that's the same,
but
just
one. It is going to be the last book.
The one.
It is the one.
The one. Where do you want to start?
Oh man, I don't know, dude. Because I'm going to know. I'm torn between crossover and Beta Rebuild. Like those are the two I'm most curious about.
Let's talk about crossover.
Jace.
So, Crossover, as we know, is this amazing, series written by Donny Cates, art by Jeff Shaw. Not this time, though. Dun, dun, dun. We have an amazing, substitute team.
Yeah.
They're literally crossed out, which is amazing. Chip Zdarsky and Phil Hester and Andy Parks jump in on this one. So, all-star creators, if you don't know their names, learn. Yeah. Because you can. We get a twist. Okay, so the crossover series thus far has been fictional characters have come into our world and there's mayhem that ensues.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If you were a fictional character and say you come into the real world,
okay,
would you ever look back on some of your darkest adventures and realize that the person that was most responsible may not have been the villain that you fought, but the writer who wrote it?
Oh. Yeah, I'd probably hunt him down.
Yeah? So that's the theme here, is that we have a comic book writer on the run who's gone into hiding to hide from some characters that they feel might be coming after them. The best thing is that I do believe there is a intimation of self-love with this comic writer and a comic version of themselves that they wrote into a story. There's a moment. Let me just share with you this visual, and you tell me the rightful conclusion of where this is supposed to go. I mean, I'm just saying,
I don't see any other way around.
You see,
it.
I mean, there's tears and that. Right there, I feel like there's a
catharsis, spiritual and physical union.
Right?
I mean, that's what I'm seeing there.
And it's you. Who better to love you than you? When I say self-love, I mean it. And Chip, there's no way that you can tell me that that's not what happened. You wrote the story, but we both know.
We know.
Okay? We both know. It's nothing strange about it, my man. If I wrote a story with this kind of setup, yeah, it's definitely what happened. Yeah, definitely. And everybody would be happy.
So my high concept image book this week, Department of Truth, number 10.
Mm-hmm.
So they go on a Sasquatch hunt.
You're there.
Done.
You're
Mission
there.
accomplished. You're going to read it.
Yep.
If you don't know anything about Department of Truth, what it is this conspiracy theories create reality through belief. So enough people believe the world's flat.
Guess what?
And in this particular story arc, they're talking about ghosts and angels and different stuff where people believe, but since they exist, we find out the reasons why we never get a clear photo of a Sasquatch, like why there's always something wrong, how people react to it, it's just amazing, and the fact that they're just straight up hunting a Sasquatch, it's beautiful. It reminds me of the series Killing Sasquatch, or Killing Bigfoot, which was a Texas group they wanted to...
Why would you do that?
I don't know. But they got a whole, a season, they had a series.
I mean, so did, Harry and the Hendersons, but you don't see that kind of negativity in... What?
Right?
Yo, you don't... That's messed up, man. If they had killed Harry...
Right?
I swear...
But what if Harry was in a red room?
They deserved it. They deserved it, man. They probably hit him with a car, put him on top of it, strapped him up like a tree. Disrespect.
Yeah.
Okay? Disrespect. That's all I'm saying.
Don't disrespect Sasquatch.
Is that a movie that needs to be remade?
Like a gritty...
Whoa, like a grindhouse version of Harry and Henderson?
Yeah.
Can we just... Wait. See, I was just playing before, but now... That might need to happen.
Yeah.
That might need to happen. A grindhouse version of Harry and...
All right, so I'm going to scrap my Zardoz, the musical Kickstarter.
Yeah. No, we'll start all over. We'll come with that one. That's good. Okay. Better Bill number 4. Now, this one, here's the vibe that I was getting from this. Daniel Warren Johnson is a god. Let's just keep it 100. Okay, so this is part 4 or 5. So we get one more. I'm calling this, right? If there's a certain group of comic voices that their name rhymes with hate, comics hate, when they read this book, they're gonna cry. And do I sound gleeful when I said that? Did I?
Maybe a smidge, a twinge.
Yeah. They're gonna cry. Okay? So here's the thing. In this context of the story, we have something that is very meta, very amazing to be coming out Pride Month. I mean, literally Pride Month, this is gold. Because where a lot of comic companies are celebrating Pride on the outside.
Yes, there's a cover.
Yeah.
But not necessarily anything in the content.
Yeah, nothing substantial in the conversation. However, Better Ray Bill is an amazing, contextual story that I think is, super capturing the trans movement and the idea of seeing yourself a certain way and wanting others to see you as you do. That is the literal plight of Better Ray Bill, and it's told through some of the most amazing things that until, literally this issue, it didn't click. But I'm reading and I'm like, oh.
Wait a minute.
Wait, wow. And there's this amazing sense of othering, and there is a character that is definitely going to be what I'm projecting as a home base type person. It's hey, listen, no matter how you feel, I love you. And it's going to, it's so, it's going to be good. I know he's going to land this ending. It's going to be so freaking good. But there's something magical about being able to metatextually talk about something important without waving your hand and saying, hey, guess what I'm talking about? Guess what I'm talking about? Putting it on the page. Brilliantly done.
Well, you bring up an interesting point.
Yes.
It's the metatextual, everything surrounding the story, because we've gone so far in 15 years as far as representation, and we're celebrating trans artists, and we're doing all these things to kind of pump up these stories. But even you telling me about this earlier, it's kind of this. It's not a replacement for telling trans stories or showing trans artists, but it's this idea of telling a story that normalizes the experiences, the lived experiences of trans people, in a way that is not like people can get it. It's becoming a more normalized thing that we can now tell stories about.
Yep.
And like, boy, that does so much. Like I can't tell you how many people come to me and they're like, whoa, I read this thing or I watched this thing, totally unrelated, but like it helped something click. And like it's all these ancillary things that will converge into understanding why someone would come out or be a certain way or feel a certain way. So like I'm 100% down for these like adjacent stories that help normalize the feelings behind it. You know?
100%. As a Black creator, it's so funny. Like I've had this conversation with other people about what representation looks like, and it's not always this direct in your face, look, this is who I am, demographic checkmark. It is almost the behind the scenes normalization of experience, right? So in this regard, I had a conversation with a mom. She was a Black woman, had a grown son at this point, and said that she never let him read comics because there was nothing that they could explain to a Black man. And so we ran through different characters that she would throw out, and I'm bringing to fore, like, these are things that you could see as a Black person that speak directly to this experience. And her final gambit, her highest play on was Batman. She's like, Batman, what could a rich white guy teach my son? And I was like, you mean how to survive the gun violence death of a family member? No, that doesn't affect the Black community at all. And she's just like, oh my, it was right here and I never saw it. I was like, you looked for the thing that made you different, not for the thing that made you the same. Yeah. And seek the sameness in people, and it helps you relate to each other. Like that's the beauty part. Like we are so the same on so many different ways. If you only look for the things that make us different and at odds, sure, you'll find it, but it's so much better to find the other sweet stuff. Just throw that out there. Yeah. Bring us together. Yes, sir.
Well, mine isn't as high-minded.
Sorry, you should have went first.
Deep breath.
My bad.
No, come down off
yeah. Just gotta.
Midnight Western Theater by Scout Comics, number 2. All right, so this one is, let's see, Louis Southard doing the writing, David Hahn doing the art, colorist is Ryan Cody, and lettering is Buddy Bowden.
Nice.
So this is the kind of like Wild Wild West, Weird West stuff that I wish we had more of because I'm such a sucker for it. So it's this vampire, and there's something about this woman. I don't know what her thing is yet. But they're just going through the Wild West. They've been hired to go find this young girl. They run into a cult.
As one does
in the West. You know, every time I'm traveling in that area, I'm like, hey, what's up? Aliens. And so in this one, I started cackling maniacally when this happened.
Is that who they're talking to? Wow!
Yes.
Wow!
So for whatever reason, I'm okay with that, but not. But yeah, like it's super fun. It's a fast read. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it is this really fun modern take on Weird West.
That's awesome.
Type stories. It's just
not
as deep as Beta Ray built,
but hey, listen. The thing that would break my heart is if Daniel Warren Johnson that messaged me was like, "That's not at all what I was doing." And I'm like, well, it should have been, okay? Like it's there, okay?
Even if it isn't, take credit.
Take it, like maybe that's something that you intrinsically were putting on the page and didn't even realize it. Nothing wrong with that. Last but certainly not least, from Vault Comics. Oh, Michael, is it Morrissey? I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's God.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Not God.
Nathan Gooden, Addison Duke, Jim Campbell. When your powers combine, you form something amazing. Okay, so Barbaric.
Owen the Barbarian. His name is Owen.
His name is Owen. Which doesn't sound intimidating, because it ain't. It ain't. It would have been better if his name was like Oven. Like, yeah, I get hot. No, it's Owen with the W.
So you take the Conan trope.
Yes.
Like that brutal killing machine barbarian. And you curse him so that he can't do barbarian stuff.
No.
He's got to help people.
Yeah.
He's got to measure his violence to meet the requirements of justice.
It's got to be merited.
And oh my god, it's the dialogue is precious. There's a talking axe.
Sort of. Okay.
Yeah,
Sort of.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it's the axe that actually has to upkeep the curse.
Right.
By way of saying, this thing it merits violence. That thing, no, it doesn't. Like, you can't do that. And when you talk about, it starts off with the very common, amazing Conan trope.
Yeah.
No lie. Like, that's absolutely perfect. But then when you see it twist and how it starts to twist,
like, this is so amazing.
And then it just keeps twisting in the funniest ways possible. I feel bad for the dude. Like,
right?
Because there's so many things. You ever see somebody just so handcuffed by procedure? Like, they just can't do what you know is in their heart. Like, they just want to so bad.
Yeah.
I believe when he was given the choice, he really did want a second look. Like, he was like...
It was a tough call.
Like, show me the other thing. Fine. I guess. That's what we'll do. I haven't seen bloodlust like this since Invincible ended. And show or the comic series you pick. Everything is gritty. It's delicious.
It's super. It's everything you would want from like a Conan comic. Like, the violence level's berserker level.
Yep.
And it just the fact that he's handcuffed, like,
amazing.
He can't do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So he
And then when he wants to be like, all right, like in true Conan fashion, like, I'm done with this. He's not allowed to do that. Yeah. He still has to stay, which is even funnier. So, like, if you can easily see him being outmatched, and he's like, no, I'm not doing this. And the curse is like, yes, you are. You are, actually. Now, I will say that there are levels to this, though, because I do not believe that this was a warranted reaction.
Yeah.
That might have been a little over the top. However, it wasn't killing.
It's effective.
Effective rendering ineffective. Sure,
it
like
gets the
that's
point across.
You got everyone's attention.
Like, if you shoot off somebody's pinky toe, like, you really haven't.
Oh, my pinky toe!
Like, you haven't really ruined their life.
No.
I mean,
they can't play soccer.
That's true.
They can play soccer.
But that person can still play soccer, though. So
can he? Because I don't know if his run is going to be worth a damn after this. That's such a.
Is it better or worse than a pinky toe? When you read Barbaric, comment below.
Let us know.
Is it worse than a pinky toe?
Yeah. You weigh it out. Okay. Off the top of your head, favorite character?
Oh my god, it's the axe.
It's got to be the axe.
If
it's not the axe, you're lying. That is 100%. Does the axe have a name? I didn't catch a name.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think it does.
I hope so.
Axie mix axe face.
Oh my gosh,
that works 100% for me,
and it would fit.
Yes,
like everything else.
Literally, yes. Okay, so cosplayers, weaponeers, I need you to make these. Okay, next convention, New York Comic Con is in October. You've got time. Make it so. If not in New York, which is in October, which, might be too soon. Okay, that's cool. C2E2 is in December. You have time. I need to see this, glowing eyes and all. If it spills blood, even gooder. Okay?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Just know you will be hated.
Punch.
Yeah. Drink it. Yes. Oh, God. Oh, I need that. Okay.
I know some people.
Yeah, I was going to say, now, you will be hated by the convention staff because you will make a mess.
Yeah.
But I literally saw someone cosplay as Married with Children. And they had to carry around a couch.
Oh, that's commitment.
They did. Like, they totally carried around a couch. Whenever somebody wanted a picture, they would put the couch down and sit on it. And, peg! Like, literal, the whole nine. It was amazing. So if they could do that and carry a couch at a con, blood spilling axe. Mm-hmm. Make it so. Just throwing it out there. You want more pictures or what? You want to be legendary? You want to be remembered?
That's how you get remembered.
Absolutely.
And kicked out of a convention.
Barred for life. But they will remember you to make sure that you never are allowed back in. So, come on. Step it up. And if you're big and muscular like he is, they're still going to kick you.
They're still going to kick you out.
It's going to be amazing. But just make sure you stop by my table. I'll let you know what it is. It's so amazing. Hopefully you guys definitely love this episode. If so, click that thumbs up. You already know what to do. Mm-hmm. And you want this goodness every week?
Click the subscribe and the bell. Because we drop this every Wednesday.
That's right.
Unless we screw up, then it's Thursday. Shh. Or Diamond doesn't send our books when it's Thursday.
Then it's definitely Thursday.
And then one time Jeremy was out, so it was...
It was Tuesday-esque.
Yeah, it was just...
Yeah, we did a live.
Yeah. A vague squint, and it looks like Tuesday.
Yeah, it kind of... Twinsday. It was Twinsday. It was almost Wednesday. Yeah. So there you go. That's what it is. Now, again, once again, we say, at the end of July, Cinnamon, put that on your pull list right now. Is final order cutoff? When is that?
I don't think it's happened.
It hasn't happened yet? All right, now's the time. Yeah. Get into your comic shops. See your local comic shop. Get some cinnamon. Put it on your cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Kitty time. Kitty time.
It's going to be a good time. Get some catnip.
That's what every book should come with, catnip.
I think that's illegal.
Only if you get caught.
All right, so in Alabama.
Here we go.
That's how we start.
Here we go.